Today's reading for the second Sunday in Advent is Living Peace. We envision the birth of Jesus occurring in a setting of great peace. From this auspicious beginning, he grew to become the Prince of Peace, our way shower for living a life of peace, love, and compassion. We each have within us a deep well of peace. It lies at the very center of our being. Anytime we feel unsettled, anxious, or upset, we can return to the abiding peace of the Christ within. We can live in peace, know peace, and be peace. And may the Lord of peace himself give you peace at all times, in all ways. From 2 Thessalonians 3:16. And I now invite you to hold in mind anyone you would like to have held in prayer today. And if you would like to speak their names out loud, please feel free to do so.
Patty? I'm Keith.
I would like to hold Laura Cadeau in special prayer this morning. I am centered and poised in the Christ mind. I act from a place of self-love and love for others. In prayer, I send thoughts of loving kindness to myself, my family, my community, and our world. Loving kindness flows from my spiritual consciousness. It serves as a catalyst for peace, harmony, and compassion around the globe. I tap into my oneness with all people and receive the gift of peace. And so it is. Amen. And now I'm going to turn this over to our lovely songstress and speaker.
Thank you, Peggy. Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to be here. And we are going to start out with a sing-along. And I would invite you to stand for this, please. Get a little energy in the room here. Just a chord. It's going to be call and response. You may have sung this song before, God is my source. If nothing else, it's a great thing to remember. And how it's going to go is I'm going to say, God is my source, God is my source, God is my power, God is my power. Okay? And we all sing, God gives me everything I need. Okay? And we're going to go through several different verses with joy, peace, and love. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Again, God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, so it gives me everything I need. Joy, joy is my source, joy is my power, joy gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, oh, joy gives me everything I need. Peace, peace is my source, peace is my power, peace gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Peace gives me everything I need. Love, love is my source. Love is my power. Love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Love gives me everything I need. God, God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. One more time. God gives me everything I need. And that's the truth. Thank you so much. Be seated. We're here to remind you. Before I start my talk, I'd like to sing a beautiful song for you. I'm here to remind you of your magnificence, to help you awake to all the wonder that you are. I want to show you all the joy you're worthy of. I'm here to remind you how much you're truly loved. You're here to remind me of my magnificence, to help me awake to all the wonder that I am. You want to show me all the joy I'm worthy of. You're here to remind me how much I'm truly loved. We're here to remind you of your magnificence, to help you awake to all the wonder that you are. We long to show you all the joy you're worthy of. We're here to remind you how much you're truly loved. And that's the truth too. Okay. Let me just move my book. No coincidences. And switch. I don't have a pocket, so it's on my boot. Whatever works. Whatever works. Yes, this is one of my reference tools this morning. Who knew, huh? I've been a subscriber for a couple of years now, and it was
Because Rick gave us a subscription here.
No, it wasn't Rick. It was Gail. And yeah, well, I'm going to sign up for that too. That just reminds me, yeah, the renewal is due. Anyhow, but I'll get to that in just a second. I'll sneak a fake name in there or something. I don't know. Yeah, so the title of my talk is really just the title of what I really believe and think about all the time, and that's one breath at a time. Because that is all it is. It's one breath at a time, and we need to remember that it's only one breath and one step at a time. That's as fast as it's ever going to go. So the premise of my talk is no matter what you do on the outside, nothing changes on the inside unless you work on changing that on the inside. Okay? I mean, there's a lot of examples. One is recently spent most of November battling challenging health issues. And I say that, you know, with kind of tongue in cheek, but I really mean that, because I'm not going to say I'm, you know what I'm saying? Out loud. Because I believe that our words make a difference. And I believe our thoughts make a difference as to what we're going to say. Okay? So I spent most of the month with my ups and downs of health. What's the word? See, because I'm really always trying to choose the words. Reviewing why and how and all that stuff. I had those few moments of, okay, I'm just going to sneak in. Why is this happening to me? Okay, cancel that. And I thought, well, I don't know the answer. That's the other good thing to know. We don't have to know why. We don't have to know how. And when we spend our energy trying to figure that out, we're just spinning wheels, okay? So what we do is, or what I have done, what I did, was accept the situation, but work on it with what I had, which my tools. We all have our tools when we're on this path. And in unity, the best tools, and I feel the best tools in any situation, in any other type of religious organization, at least that I've been exposed to, the 12 powers are it. There is nothing that happens to you or to anybody else that there isn't a reference to what is missing. Which one of those 12 powers is not in that situation? You know? Is there understanding that's missing? Is there love? Is there peace? Is there life? Is there wisdom? Is there renunciation? Something is missing. Okay? And that is what we want to affirm. The other thing that I did during that process was remember Myrtle Fillmore's teachings. And I am a big fan of Myrtle Fillmore, and as you know, Myrtle was the first person in her family, aside from her husband, who did not recognize what she was doing at the time for a while with her tuberculosis. And she felt, you know, what can I do? You know, everybody's kind of sickly around here. I'm the one that's really sick, and I need to do something. I need to change the situation. So aside from doctors, of which I partook, is that a word? In November, what else can I do? I can praise my body. I can give thanks for what I have. I can sing. That's what Myrtle did. She started singing to her body. She started praising every cell in her body. I mean, like, she didn't say, I'm praising every cell in my body. She said, I'm praising every cell in my toe. I'm praising every cell in my foot. She went through her entire body and all her organs and everything. Over and over, she did this. Because that's what she had to be grateful for, was her body. Okay? And praising brings a whole sense of gratitude, because you will start to see changes if you remember to be grateful for what you have. And what we have is our level of consciousness that is different from everyone else. We all have that level, and we should be grateful for that every time we think about it. Well, that leads us to a whole nother thing. I started doing things like singing, it's getting better all the time, getting better, you know, and stuff like that. So it just, and actually one of the songs that came to mind, which I sang, we in this congregation, when this congregation was in Minden, sang, we're still singing songs out of the songbook, Wings of Song, and I am free, I am unlimited. That is a great phrase. And I am free, I am unlimited. There are no chains that bind me. And I meant it. And it wasn't long after that a friend of mine said to me, well, she suggested, have you done any alternative, therapies? Like acupuncture. Well, I've done acupuncture in the past, but she said, well, and I have this chiropractor who adjusts sinuses. Like, really? And I've had chiropractic before, but I just, who thought about sinuses? It's like you think about your neck and your back. And I went to him, and I have been to him 3 times in 1 week. I went, and it was a miracle. And not only did he adjust whatever, all the other things. What I learned is, and this pertains to our line of thinking here, is that your spine, and I kind of knew this, and we all kind of know, well, yeah, we know that there's nerves and all that stuff back there. Well, every nerve, and especially John, knows that really well now. Everything is connected to something in your body, okay? Everything, there's something back there, wherever it is, that connects to your sinuses. It connects to your, everything, your throat, of which I was really having a challenge with during November. And I'm thinking, isn't this interesting? I sing for a living. I mean, that's been my living for 40 years. It used to be 30, now it's 40. Anyhow, yeah, so I thought, is this the end for me? I actually thought that at one point. Maybe this is like a turning point. And I thought, no, I'm not ready for that. So that's something I'm going to work at. But what the analogy of the spine and everything connected is, we all have that one part of us that's connected to everything else. And that is our higher consciousness. So it's really analogous. There are so many things that have to do with one thing. If we believe that we are part of the one mind, then we believe that we too can raise our consciousness to whatever other levels we may see as examples. Who knows? Ram Dass, the Dalai Lama, Mother Teresa. But it filters down, There are other people, I'm sure, that we admire for their successes or their talents or whatever. And it's all about having that higher consciousness. And so it's our job as stewards of this path of thinking to raise our consciousness so that the collective consciousness has more higher consciousness in it. That is how change happens. Because if we have that higher consciousness, we aren't about war. We aren't about hurt and harm. We're about peace, right? Peace and love. And you know darn well, if anybody that we could think of in the political system had more peace and love on their brain, just in general, the world would be a better place for all of us, And that's the way it is for everyone around the world, The terrorists that are out there, the people that commit these heinous crimes, do you think they know what love is? I don't think so. Do you think they know that it's possible? So it's our job to help that collective consciousness grow. My book, which came ripped, that I taped together, I have a couple of things. I go through this every month. I also read the Daily Word every day. And I earmark, all the book purists that hate the earmarking. I'm sorry. I'll apologize in advance. anyhow, but because I want to share things with people. I have a Thursday prayer group that meets at my house, and I'm always sharing, something out of here. So I want to share Adjust the Cause first. Your physical world, I forgot my glasses, is like a computer printout of your consciousness. If you were to write a Word doc on your computer and hit print, your printer would print just what you typed on your keyboard. Let's say you then proof the hard copy and find an error. So you take your white correction fluid from the drawer and attempt to make it go away. Now you hit print again, and ta-da, it comes out again with still the mistake. You Google how to be an expert whiteout applier and watch a how-to video on using whiteout properly. You do it to perfection, hit print, and still there is a problem. You can't eliminate the mistake by applying whiteout to your paper. You have to change the words you input on the screen. Is it starting to sound familiar? In life, as it is reflected in your experience, you can't change the physical world and hope the cause changes. Your physical world is a reflection of your consciousness. Your prosperity is a result. Your health is an outpicturing. Your relationships are a reflection. Your success is a demonstration. And all are of your consciousness. People will say, if I only had more to work with, I could, Lack of prosperity is not the issue. It's only the indicator of what's been input into your consciousness. Adjust the cause, and the results will be different. Change the programming of the inner and watch the outer change. It's that simple. No need to contact Google for help. Let me just grab my glasses here. These little skinny things that just fit right in my purse. I never used to wear these. I just had to start wearing them too. I know, but it's really the truth now. So, I want to also address prayer. To pray means to claim. To claim something would be affirming that it's yours, right? And that's what pray means. So when we pray, we have to remember that there's no one out there to ask things from. Nobody else is going to give us anything. God is a word and an entitlement that was given to the higher power. And God means good. And you can find these references in the Bible if you were looking for that. But the big thing is what we believe. Do we really believe that we are responsible and capable of all the answers that we're looking for? That's what we need to believe. And we can achieve that with our higher consciousness. Okay? So it's remembering that we can't get God to create or destroy anything, because it's coming from our own thinking. All right? So we don't have, Well, asking is like thinking that we know more than the infinite intelligence does. There must be some little hidden thing in there because it's going to come to me, you know. Well, the infinite intelligence already knows everything, knows your thoughts, you know. Our thoughts are just our thoughts. We're creating them. And it's up to us on how we act. And you know the 5 principles of unity, and the biggest one, it's hard to pick, but I believe the biggest one is the 5th principle, which is it's not enough to know. You must act. You must follow through. Don't just repeat something by rote.
Do it.
That's right, do it. So, and it's just, if we can just imagine that prayer, it's really simple. It's just a matter of getting quiet. Because if we are praying, we are claiming. It's that simple. So we get quiet and we affirm whatever it is. But in unity, we're taught affirmative prayer, okay? But we're also taught denials. So denying lack and limitation is pretty darn simple. And if you want to be specific, that's fine. But it really, I think if more people realized that it was just a matter of simple and setting your intention is the whole thing. You know, if I say, I want to be quiet and still, be still, because I want to be in touch with my higher consciousness. Well, that's a pretty darn good intention. And right there, you've put yourself into that mode that you can allow things to come in, because you've opened up to being quiet. It's kind of opposite when you think about it. So you get rid of the concept of God being an instrument to do something, your servant, okay? When you allow yourself to be quiet, you're letting go automatically of being active, being, getting in the way of your thoughts. You're opening to receive. So at that point, it's let go. The phrase let go and let God that's it. And I open to receive. We are always opening to receive our highest good. And if you choose to think of it that way, it eliminates having to say, well, I already know what my highest good is. It's going to be this. Okay? No. Drop that thinking. Just accept that your highest good might be something completely opposite from what you think. And if you're going to define the outcome, then you're standing in the way of your God self. That's really something that I really have studied, is trying to get out of the way. And know that it doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be difficult. You can't reach God through human mind. Don't outline how your prayer is fulfilled, because grace can't come in and bless you with your highest good if you're standing in the way. You go to God. When we say, I need to get in touch with God. I need to get in touch with my higher power. Well, we're going to God for God. We're not going to God for things. We're going to God because that is what we have learned is the highest element we can go to for anything to happen. Okay? And that's a good thing to remember. We're only going to that source for the source, not for the things that the source can give us or make happen. It's going to be up to us. This is a great quote from Louise Hay. I choose to make the rest of my life the best of my life. Why would we not choose that? Regardless of what our pasts are, and there's a lot of stuff in our past. We all have stuff. Regardless of what it is, we are who we all are right now because of all that stuff. I am who I am, regardless of an abusive childhood, violence. We all have stuff. But here I am, and I'm grateful. So, gratitude and being still, those are the keys. You're grateful for who you are today. I'm not happy about the things that happen to me. We do not condone the things that happen that are negative or harmful. But we give thanks for this path that somehow the one mind decided was going to bring us to this point right now here. And that's what we give thanks for. And at the same time, if you keep that vision, you can forgive in your past. Because when you forgive, you are clearing the path. That's done. It's done. Now is all that matters. And even if we have hurtful things or losses, it's not up to us to figure out why. It's just up to us to accept that we are functioning at our highest level right now. And if you want to function at a higher level, what do? You go into the quiet and you get in touch with your highest self and you say, I deny any lack and limitation and I affirm divine order for my highest good, because for me to rise, it will help someone else rise. And that's what happens. No one rises higher than their consciousness. You don't have these little pop-up things that happen. You're here, but you want to be here. So work on it. It's really simple. You can work on it anywhere, anywhere. What comes to mind for me, and maybe Rick too, is airports. There's a good challenge for you. But you know what? You kind of feel like you're walking around with a secret. At least I do. I'm like walking around an airport or sitting in an airport looking at this massive humanity, and for me, it flashes across my face, all these lives and all these things that people do and have done and everything, and I just bless everybody, and be grateful that I can be part of this massive humanity and that I have a secret, because I'm thinking love, peace, It kind of puts a smile on your face when you're in that kind of a situation. One of the books that my Thursday group just finished, we're always studying a book aside from other spiritual readings that we look at, is Big Magic. I don't know if any of you read it or heard about it. from Elizabeth Gilbert, who wrote Eat, Pray, Love. Big Magic is nothing like Eat, Pray, Love, if you've read that. That's more of a accounting of experiences that she had in her life regarding travel and stuff. Anyhow, Big Magic is all about channeling your creativity into your highest good. Okay? And one of the lines in it, I was reading the other day, we were reading as a group, and as we read it, I went, that is what I want said when I'm gone. Which I said to him. He goes, if you're still here. And he says, put it in the will. I'm going to. And this is part of a sentence. But, you know, really, so it would be, if I started the sentence with, I have led a, you know, that's how it started. Charmed, interesting, and passionate existence. And I like that because, for me, it fits me, I think. And that's all that matters. So, I have just a couple other things to remind you about. You know, it's all about reminding, and I say that because it's not about telling, it's just reminding. If you're here because you have already thought these things. You know, we think these things, but we have to keep practicing. It's not enough unless you want it to be, you know. It's all about what you want. How much you want to work on yourself. You know, and it's hard to remember. We are human, so we're living this human existence. We're, you know, having to deal with certain things and certain people and all that kind of stuff. But in the midst of all that stuff, we still have to make time for ourselves, and even if it's for a few minutes. You know, if there was something that you could just remind yourself to sit down for 5 minutes, honestly, it will make a difference. And you may already do that. So I'm talking because that's what I do. I just go, sit down and shut up. And stop the chatter, you know. Well, the chatter is never going to stop. That was one of a good thing for me to hear one time when whoever said that. The chatter never stops. I went, okay, I'm not a weirdo, you know. And everybody else is able to have the chatter stop. You know, it was a good thing to find out. But so what do we do with that? Well, we try to stop the chatter by bringing ourselves down, being quiet. I personally think of it as sitting on the bank of a river, a small, like, stream, and I'm focusing on just being quiet and being open to receive. And the chatter is going down the stream, and it's these little fishes that keep going beep, beep, beep. You know, and that's never stopping. So what you do is you just go, okay, next, you know. And believe me, when you get into kind of a flow, whatever it is you decide to think about, that chatter will just become secondary, and that's all you care about, that it becomes secondary, so that if nothing else, you are saying, peace, be still. Peace, be still. Because your higher consciousness knows that you're thinking more than peace, be still. You're thinking, I want to open to receive. Okay? Your thoughts are already known. Using the 12 powers, it's invaluable. You know, and if you have to write them down just in a list of 12, you know, just to remember, oh yeah, what's missing in this is understanding. I affirm understanding in this situation. Or I affirm life in this situation, or I affirm wisdom. Whatever it is, those 12 powers are your foremost tools in unity. Just one more thing. We are the essence of I am. I am, in the Bible and in unity studies, refers to God, Spirit, whatever you want to call that, higher consciousness, is the I am. Because, as is said in our first principle, or second, God is good, and the good, and that God is a spark in every one of us. So if that's the truth, and we believe that, then the I am is also in every one of us, because the I am is God. So it's a good thing to remember that it's just, that's another way to identify yourself with the higher power. I'd like to go into a meditation now, and I'm going to sing a song first. One breath at a time, one breath at a time. That's where grace comes in, one breath at a time, one step at a time, one step at a time. That's where peace comes in, one step at a time, and one breath at a time, one breath at a time. That's where peace comes in, one breath at a time. So let's be quiet for a few moments here and know that we are all invited here today for a reason. And that reason is the energy of oneness. We are brought here together so that we can share that love that's in the room, that peace that's permeating right now. And we open to receive our highest good. And we let the chatter go, and we let the chatter flow, and we focus on peace, be still. And we feel that gratitude of oneness. That gratitude of everything that has brought us to this point. And we say thank you. Thank you for my life. Thank you for my breath. This is the breath of life. And we are grateful for that breath. Because there's more to do. There is more for each of us to do. That's why we're still here. Whatever that is, we may not know, but we are open to receive. What is mine to do? I am open to receive that. Just breathing in and being grateful for that breath just brings us back down to ourselves. We're the only ones that know who we are. And who we are is that perfect baby that was born. That clear mind, the innocence of nothing, of being empty and open to receive. And so we affirm that for ourselves. I affirm that wholeness, that innocence that is inside me. And I am open to receive more. And with every breath we remember. With every breath we remember. I am the I am. I am worthy. I am love. I am peace. And we take this moment to go into the silence and focus. Peace, be still. May the long-time sun shine upon you. all love surround you, and the pure, pure light within you guide your way on. Guide your way on. And so it is. Amen.